Alrighty, boys and girls, we are on Chapter 3 of Junie B. Jones and the Mushy Gushy Valentines. Chapter 3 is called Picking Out Valentines. The Valentine's box turned out very beautiful. After it was finished, Mrs. passed out a list for all of us to take home. The list had the names of all of the children in room 9. There are 18 children in our class, said Mrs., so that means everyone needs to bring 18 Valentines. I raised my hand. Do we bring in Valentines for ourselves too? I asked her. Well, no, she said. I mean, there's no rule against it, I suppose, but Valentines are really supposed to be given to others. She thought for a second. Oops, I guess that means I made a mistake, doesn't it? She said. Since you won't be bringing in a card for yourself, you will only need to bring in 7 Valentines. I raised up my hand again. Yeah, only what if we also want to bring in Valentines for you, Mrs.? I asked. She raised up her eyebrows. Well, then you would be back up to bringing 18 again, wouldn't you? She said. 17 plus 1 equals 18. I tapped on my chin. Yeah, only what if there's people in here who we don't actually like that much? Do we have to bring a Valentine for them too? Yes, Junie B, she said. Of course you do. Valentine's is a day of friendship for everyone, so every single boy and girl in room 9 will bring a card for every other boy and girl. After Mrs. finished explaining, she sat back down at her desk. I zoomed up there and whispered in her ear. Yeah, only I know I have to bring a card to the regular boys and girls, I said real soft, but I don't have to bring one to the big, fat, stinky heads, do I? All of a sudden, Miss throwed her arms up in the air. Yes, Junie B. Yes, you do, she said. For the last time, you will bring a card for everyone in room 9, even the big, fat, stinky heads. Just then, all room 9 looked up at her, because teachers aren't supposed to say big, fat, stinky heads, I think. And here's a picture of Miss throwing her hands up in the air. After that, Miss closed her eyes for a real long time. Then finally, she stood up very slow, and she went to the sink, and she took an aspirin. The next day was Saturday, and it was the funnest Saturday ever, because Daddy took me to the drugstore, and he bought me beautiful heart antennas for my head, plus also he let me pick out my very own box of Valentines. After we got home, Mother helped me pick out the perfect card for every person in room 9. First, I picked a card for my bestest friend, Lucille, and it had a lovely princess on the front of it. This one, Mother, I said. I will give Lucille this one, because when she grows up, she's going to marry an expensive prince, and she is going to let me and Grace sweep her castle. Plus, also, we will get to wear her raggedy, used-up gowns. Mother looked and looked at me. Lucille is a regular saint, she said, very quiet. I know it, I said. Me and Grace are lucky to have her. After that, I found a perfect card for Grace, too. It had 2 running shoes on the front of it. Mother read me the words. It says, Valentine, you and I make the perfect pair. We do, Mother. Me and Grace do make the perfect pair. Because Grace can beat me at running, and I can beat Grace at lots of other stuff, probably. Only I haven't actually found anything yet. After that, I picked out our special cards for all of the other children in room 9. Every time I picked out a Valentine, Mother crossed a name off the list. Finally, there was only one name left. Jim, said Mother. You still need to pick out a card for Jim. I did a big sigh, because I don't want to give that guy a card, of course. I looked all through the box of Valentines. Then, all of a sudden, I saw a card with a funny skunk on the front. That one, I said. I will send Jim that one. Mother shook her head. I don't know, Junie B, she said. A picture of a skunk just doesn't seem very nice. I put it in an envelope. Perfect, I said, because neither is Jim. And that's the end of Chapter 3, so come back tomorrow to hear Chapter 4.